You mentioned.
Yeah, okay. All right, fantastic. So all I can tell you is that you were violating top secret and classified information rules, and you're saying it's okay because other people were violating it too. So it's okay to rob a bank as long as other people do. Okay. All right, fantastic. FBI Director Comey said it was possible that her system was actually hacked.
There is no evidence. Of course, anything is possible. But what is factual is the State Department system was hacked. Most of the government systems are way behind the curve. We've had hacking repeatedly, even in the White House. There is no evidence my system was hacked.
Yeah, okay. There's no evidence that your system was hacked. Okay. At least so far. What are you going to do if Julian Assange pulls some of your emails off of your server and puts them in front of the entire world? What are you going to do about that? What are you going to do if Russia decides to go ahead and release some of the emails they have off your server? What are you going to do? A veteran asked Hillary Clinton, how can you expect those who keep America's secrets to trust you? This is a great question. A veteran asked Hillary Clinton, how can you expect those who keep America's secrets to trust you?
Well, I appreciate your concern and also your experience, but let me try to make the distinctions that I think are important for me to answer your question. First, as I said to Matt, you know and I know, classified material is designated, it is marked. There is a header so that there is no dispute at all that what is being communicated to or from someone who has that access is marked classified. And what we have here is the use of an unclassified hundreds of people in our government to send information that was not marked. There were no headers. There was no statement, top secret, secret, or confidential. I communicated about classified material on a wholly separate system. I took it very seriously. When I traveled, I went into one of those little tents that I'm sure you've seen around the world because we didn't want there to be any potential for someone to have embedded a camera to try to see whatever it is that I was seeing that was designated, marked, and headed as classified. So I did exactly what I should have done, and I take it very seriously. Always have, always will.
Respectfully, Ms. Secretary, if you took it seriously, always have and always will, then you would not have a server in your house. The systems that you're talking about are not public systems. Those systems are heavily secured systems, and you know it. I don't have any idea what she's talking about here. What she's doing is trying to put out a narrative that people will say, see, there's nothing here. That's not the case. It is not the case. And in order to do it, she is stomping all over the reputation and the professionalism of James Comey. Let's assume that James Comey is actually playing politics. I hope he thinks it's worth it, because helping out the Clintons means that you have big fat footprints all through your chest and your head, covered with mud, as they walk over your dead body to their next political objective. 866-660-5759. The Commander-in-Chief Forum on NBC was very, very well done. Very proud of NBC for doing some great work here. These questions asked of Hillary Clinton, right on time, very, very fair, and she's having trouble with them. Coming up next, Matt Lauer asked whether or not her vote for the war in Iraq was a mistake. And then she asked, what did you think of these veterans when you say it was a mistake? And that's coming up next. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
It's Baylor Bears football right here on 660 AM The Answer. Join John Morris and JJ Joe as they bring you every bone-jarring hit and sensational touchdown as the Bears compete for the Big 12 title.
Tune in this Saturday as the Baylor Bears take on the SMU Mustangs with pregame at 2 p.m. and the kickoff at 2:30 p.m. That's the pregame at 2 and the kickoff at 2:30 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. We've said it for a long time. The Trump versus Clinton debates could determine how the entire election goes. When the first of those debates hits the air the night of September 26th, seems like we should be together. JD, are you with me?
Mark, we are ready to recreate the magic of the primary debate season at Studio Movie Grill, 75 in Spring Valley in Dallas. Get your seat now at 660amtheanswer.com. Same great price, just $10.
If you enjoyed the debates on the way to a Republican nominee, wait till that nominee hits the stage against Hillary Clinton. Is this Donald Trump's best opportunity to make a pitch to undecided voters?
One decision is easy. The decision to join us for the 660 AM The Answer watch party for Trump versus Clinton debate number 1. We'll see you on the 26th at Studio Movie Grill. Tickets are just $10 right now at 660amtheanswer.com.
This presentation is sponsored by AAA Auger Plumbing Services, Adair's Fine Floors, etc., and CharlesParish.com, your North Texas real estate buyer.
I used to love wearing dresses and shorts. Then I started getting spider veins, and even worse, those embarrassing, bulging, varicose veins. For a while, I covered up my legs, but then I discovered Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S., and for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing summer dresses and shorts again.
Make sure your legs look and feel their best for summer. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-375-4806. That's 800-375-4806. 800-375-4806.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Good Feet. One of the reasons it's such a joy to hang out with these folks is they have such great stories of helping people who have tried other things that did not work. And getting out of foot pain is a thing of joy to behold. Ask them at Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake, the 3 locations of Good Feet, or go to goodfeetdfw.com. Listen, as one of the good folks at Good Feet talks about what it's like to help people, to watch them come in for a solution that actually works.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, nonstop issue. They're searching, they're grasping at straws because they've been trying other products and they've bought something that they thought was going to help solve their problem, and it didn't.
The good people of Good Feet with solutions that are real, not the plasticky gel, one-size-fits-most nonsense. Nope, but the sizes, the styles for men, for women. Get out of pain today. That foot pain can become back pain, hip pain, leg pain. GoodFeetDFW.com, Plano, Fort Worth, or Southlake. GoodFeetDFW.com. Check them out today.
Want to see what you'd look like if you had a flatter belly? Now's your chance, because for a limited time, we're giving away free trials of Somabiotics, the new discovery that flattens bloated bellies fast. But hurry and call now while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-300-5305. Strict limit of 1 free trial per household. These free trials are reserved for anyone, male or female, who's looking for maximum belly flattening in minimum time. Somabiotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. So just think how much better you'll look and feel. Want to see what you'd look like with a flatter belly? Now's your chance. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving these trials of Somabiotics away for free. 1-800-300-5305. That's 1-800-300-5305. If lines are busy, try again. 1-800-300-5305.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis for my friends at Zero Res. The turn to cooler weather means more activity, a lot going on, maybe more rain, more mud, more need to clean the carpet. So there's more reason than ever to call Zero Res for the $33 per room Mark Davis Show special. 214-37-CLEAN, 214-37-CLEAN, pre-treated, cleaned, and sanitized. Then let them clean other stuff. Hardwood floors, fantastic shine. Drapes, upholstery, they do it all. When they're done, $50 gift certificate to Estilo Gaucho Brazilian. 214-37-CLEAN for zero res. 214-37-CLEAN.
660 AM The Answer. 660AMTheAnswer.com. The Wells Report. A daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM The Answer.
It was a great piece of news. NBC News had the Commander-in-Chief Forum on the decks of the USS Intrepid. Matt Lauer was very good. He was tough and fair, a bit pugnacious with Donald Trump. And you'll hear that coming up in just a little bit. While he interrupted both candidates, certainly he interrupted Trump more than he did Hillary Clinton. But he was standing up for himself, and I guess you could say that this was certainly fair work. Hillary voted in favor of the war in Iraq. She then said it was a mistake. Matt Lauer asked a great question. How do you think the veterans, they're among them, how do you think these veterans feel when you said that your vote and your support for the war was a mistake?
Look, I think that the decision to go to war in Iraq was a mistake. And I have said that my voting to give President Bush that authority was, from my perspective, my mistake. I also believe that it is imperative that we learn from the mistakes like after action reports are supposed to do. And so we must learn what led us down that path so that it never happens again. I think I'm in the best possible position to be able to understand that and prevent it. But I will say this, I'm asking to be judged on the totality of my record. What I've done for our veterans as First Lady, as Senator, what I've done for Gold Star families, working with them to increase the death benefit from $12,000 to $100,000, working with Republicans like Lindsey Graham to get TRICARE for our National Guard members who didn't have health care unless they were deployed, working to provide more support for the care of our veterans, those who were wounded, working with the Fisher family, now into the third generation of caring for our fallen heroes, working with John McCain to raise money for Brooke Medical Center's Intrepid Center to take care of those who are coming back with profound injuries, working on TBI and PTSD and so much more, working with groups to end veteran suicide like TAPS. So
I'm going to get to that subject.
There was a mistake. Now, my opponent was for the war in Iraq. He says he wasn't. You can go back and look at the record. He supported it. He told Howard Stern he supported it. So he supported it before it happened. He supported it as it was happening, and he is on record as supporting it after it happened. I have taken responsibility for my decision.
Let me go to another.
He refuses to take responsibility for his support.
Let me go to another question.
That is a judgment issue.
Hallie.
Yeah. And Hillary is trying to do something to equalize the winning assertions by Donald Trump that her judgment is somehow flawed. And she's going to have a real tough time with that. Her judgment clearly is. You don't get to handle top secret information the way she's handled it. And it's not parsing of words or the FBI found nothing. They didn't find nothing. They found excessively careless handling of top secret information. That's a quote from the FBI director. That the Marines on their way supposedly to save a U.S. ambassador were asked to change their clothes 4 times as they dithered over whether or not they should show up in uniform to save Americans under fire. That's a judgment issue. I'll just leave it right there. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis from my friends at ViaScan of Las Colinas. Simple question. What are we trying to do? Well, Mark, what do you mean? I mean, what are we trying to do? Let's make the list. Eat healthy, lose weight. That's all good. But listen, on that list somewhere, keep aware of our own bodies. Try to fend off heart attacks and cancer by being aware of what's going on inside us. Scan technology exists, and ViaScan prices give us the motivation to do the job right. At ViaScan of Las Colinas, John Duncan and the crew are there for you at a number I'm about to share so that you can see through the heart scan if you have plaques or blockages going on in your heart. See through the body scan what's going on in various other vital organs, maybe any pesky cancers that are festering there that you can detect early, the virtual colonoscopy, and so much more so we can stay healthy, stay on the planet, stay plugged into life. 972-739-2840. Call them. 972-739-2840 or just Google ViaScan.
You can buy your next gun anywhere, but there's nowhere like the Texas Gun Pros. There are gun shows, big box stores, and even the occasional eccentric dealer, but there is no one like the Texas Gun Pros. Texas Gun Pros are truly your pros for all your gun needs, bringing you big store selection with a local family experience. There truly is no one like Texas Gun Pros. What else makes the Texas Gun Pros stand out from the rest? An online catalog with hundreds of guns, guaranteed to have the one you're looking for. Texas Gun Pros is the only place in North Texas that can give you the gun you want for the price you can afford. Don't miss out on the amazing selection and friendly staff at Texas Gun Pros. Stop by their North Richland Hills location or visit them on the web at texasgunpros.com. That's texasgunpros.com. texasgunpros.com. And see how it feels to be a member of the Texas Gun Pros family.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. We all know that summer is busy, a lot going on, and sometimes things slip through the cracks, like the cracks in your walls or sheetrock or the doors that are sticking. The signs of foundation problems that are right in front of your face, but you're just too busy to get to them. Well, that could be a costly delay. I want you to go right now to abacusfoundationrepair.com. Call them if you have the slightest question about foundation trouble, because you do not want this to go any further. 972-406-9000 to call the right company the first time. 972-406-9000. abacusfoundationrepair.com. And just to sweeten the deal for you, give you a little motivation to call them today, $1,000 off. $1,000 off any job with 10 pilings or more. And they're not just any old pilings. They're Millennium composite pilings, the toughest, the best. They're the only North Texas foundation people that have them. So 972-406-9000. Get that foundation fixed right now. 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
Warning. If you've recently declared bankruptcy, you're going to want to change the station because there's an alternative to bankruptcy and it could be faster than you'd ever think possible. But if you've already declared bankruptcy and have missed this opportunity, you'll want to change the station now. Here it is. Right now, the company that has resolved more credit card debt than anyone in the U.S. may be able to settle your debt too. You could reduce your debt with one low monthly program payment. If you call right now and qualify, Freedom Debt Relief will show you how low your monthly program payment could be for free. Call now. 1-800-400-8131. That's 1-800-400-8131. If you're struggling with debt, this could be your answer. And the bigger your debt, the more money you could save. To find out for free how much of your hard-earned money Freedom Debt Relief could help you save, call now. 1-800-400-8131. 1-800-400-8131. 1-800-400-8131.
Message and data rates may apply.
When did American men get so soft? Today's average red-blooded American man has less testosterone than his father, and his father has less testosterone than his father. Before we turn into a country of powder puffs, Force Factor is launching the Man Up America event. We want to send every man in America a complimentary bottle of the breakout supplement taking GNC by storm. Test X180 Ignite, loaded with free testosterone-boosting manliness. Get your complimentary bottle by texting MAN to 321-321. Test X180 Ignite raises levels of free testosterone in your body to help build lean muscle during workouts. Plus, it helps incinerate fat, fuel explosive sexual desire, and improve performance. Now you can continue to feel like the real men that made this country great. Do yourself a favor. Do America a favor. Text MAN to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle. That's a complimentary bottle by texting MAN to 321-321.
660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. So the NBC News Department did something superb tonight. The Commander-in-Chief Forum, they got Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump together on the deck of the USS Intrepid in New York and asked them some very good questions. Both of them. Very well done. Very, very well done. We're going through this so you have some idea what's going to be in the newspapers tomorrow, because this is huge. This may be some of the best coverage we've seen so far in this presidential race. The next question that was asked, a veteran asked Hillary Clinton, how do you respond to progressives who worry your hawkish foreign policy will continue? And what's your plan for ending wasteful war campaigns?
Well, I assume you're talking about Iraq because of my vote, and you probably are talking about Libya because of the role that I played in the administration's decision about whether to take on Gaddafi. But before I get to that, let me say very clearly, I view force as a last resort, not a first choice. I will do everything in my power to make sure that our men and women in the military are fully prepared for any challenge that they may have to face on our behalf. But I will also be as careful as I can in making the most significant decisions any president and commander-in-chief can make about sending our men and women into harm's way. With respect to Libya, again, there's no difference between my opponent and myself. He's on record extensively supporting intervention in Libya when Gaddafi was threatening to massacre his population. I put together a coalition that included NATO, included the Arab League, and we were able to save lives. We did not lose a single American in that action. And I think taking that action was the right decision. Not taking it and permitting there to be an ongoing civil war in Libya would have been as dangerous and threatening as what we are now seeing in Syria.
Yeah, okay. Moving on the Iran nuclear deal, you said, this is Matt Lauer speaking to Hillary Clinton, you said you expected them to cheat and go ahead and build a nuclear weapon. What will you do if they do indeed cheat? This is what Hillary Clinton had to say.
Let me put this in context, because this is one of the most important strategic questions we face. When I became Secretary of State, the Iranians were on a fast track to acquiring the material necessary to get a nuclear weapon. That had happened the prior 8 years. They mastered the nuclear fuel cycle, they built covert facilities, they stocked them with centrifuges, and they were moving forward. What was our decision? Our decision was to try to put together an international coalition that included Russia and China to exert the kind of pressure through sanctions that the United States alone could not do.
Right, but you said you think they're going to cheat.
Look, this is an important issue. I know we're on TV. We don't have a lot of time.
I want to get to a lot of questions.
I will talk quickly. But I want people to understand this. So, yes, I put together the coalition. We imposed the sanctions. We got them to the negotiating table. And after I left, we got the agreement. That agreement put a lid on their nuclear weapons program and imposed intrusive inspections. I have said we are going to enforce it to the letter.
Do you think they're playing us?
On the nuclear issue, no. I think we have enough insight into what they're doing to be able to say we have to distrust but verify. What I am focused on is all the other malicious activities of the Iranians. Ballistic missiles, support for terrorists, being involved in Syria, Yemen, and other places, supporting Hezbollah, Hamas. But here's the difference, Matt. I would rather, as president, be dealing with Iran on all of those issues without having to worry as much about their racing for a nuclear weapon. So we have made the world safer. We just have to make sure it's enforced.
Okay. All right. If that's your answer, I suppose that will work. A veteran unidentified asked, do you think the problems with the VA have been blown out of proportion, or do you believe they really are as bad as people say? This is what Hillary Clinton said.
Look, I was outraged by the stories that came out about the VA, and I have been very clear about the necessity for doing whatever is required to move the VA into the 21st century, to provide the kind of treatment options that our veterans today desperately need and deserve. And that's what I will do as president. But I will not let the VA be privatized. And I do think there is an agenda out there supported by my opponent to do just that. I think that would be very disastrous for our military veterans. So I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to have a meeting every week in the Oval Office. We're going to bring the VA people. We're going to bring the DOD people, because we've got to have a better fit between getting mustered out and getting into the VA system. Sometimes, and you probably know this, Sergeant, I've met so many vets who get mustered out, who leave the service. They can't find their records from DOD. And those records never make it to the VA. They feel like they're living in a fun house. They have to go over the same things over and over. We're living in a technological world. You cannot tell me we can't do a better job getting that information. And so I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to work with everybody. I'm going to make them work together. And we're going to fix the problems in the VA.
All right. So that being said, why hasn't anything been done up to this point? 307,000 people have lost their lives waiting for VA care. 307,000. We lost 6,300 in the Afghanistan and Iraq wars. 6,300. 307,000 have lost their lives waiting for VA care. Why hasn't something been done about this? At the beginning of the Obama administration, the big scandal against the Bush administration was Walter Reed Army General Hospital, Walter Reed Army Hospital in Washington, D.C. They knew this was an issue then. Politics loves a problem, hates a solution. An alarming rate of veterans are committing suicide. What would a President Hillary Clinton do to stop it?
This month is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and I've spent a lot of time with family members, survivors who've lost a loved one after he or she came home, sometimes suffering from PTSD or TBI or sexual assault, being handed bags of opioids, not being given an appropriate treatment to help that particular person, which is something, to go back to the sergeant's question, we have to change. So I rolled out my mental health agenda last week, and I have a whole section devoted to veterans' mental health. And we've got to remove the stigma. We've got to help people currently serving not to feel that if they report their sense of unease, their depression, that somehow it's going to be a mark against them. We have to do more about addiction, not only drugs, but also alcohol. So I have put forth a really robust agenda, working with a lot of the VSOs and other groups like TAPS who have been thinking about this and trying to figure out what we're going to do to help our veterans re-enter civilian life and live full, productive lives.
Okay, as Hillary Clinton continued to answer questions as a part of the Commander-in-Chief Forum on NBC News tonight, terror attacks on, actually, a veteran asked Hillary Clinton How will you determine when and where to deploy troops into harm's way?
We have to defeat ISIS. That is my highest counterterrorism goal. And we've got to do it with air power. We've got to do it with much more support for the Arabs and the Kurds who will fight on the ground against ISIS. We have to squeeze them by continuing to support the Iraqi military. They've taken back Ramadi, Fallujah. They've got to hold them. They've got to now get into Mosul. We're going to work to make sure that they have the support. They have special forces, as you know. They have enablers. They have surveillance, intelligence, reconnaissance help. They are not going to get ground troops. We are not putting ground troops into Iraq ever again, and we're not putting ground troops into Syria. We're going to defeat ISIS without committing American ground troops. So those are the kinds of decisions we have to make on a case-by-case basis. And remember, when I became Secretary of State, we had 200,000 troops deployed in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I'm very grateful that we have brought home the vast majority of those. We have a residual force, as you know, in Afghanistan. We have built up several thousands of the folks that I've talked about who are assisting in the fight against ISIS. But it is in our national security interest to defeat ISIS, and I intend to make that happen. As part of it, we're going after Baghdadi, the leader, because it will help us focus our attention, just like going after bin Laden helped us focus our attention in the fight against al-Qaeda in the Afghanistan-Pakistan theater.
Yeah, okay, so there's an awful lot of famous last wordism in that. If you think you're going to be able to clean up ISIS without putting boots on the ground, American soldiers into the theater of action, you're dreaming. That's going to nail her one of these days. If she becomes the president of the United States, that's going to be another one of those things that you chalk up saying, this is what she said, and this is what she did. Finally, terror attacks on American soil. What is your message to the American people?
I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that that's the result. I'm not going to, promise something that I think most thinking Americans know is going to be a huge challenge, and here's why. We've got to have an intelligence surge, and we've got to get a lot more cooperation out of Europe, out of the Middle East. We have to do a better job of not only collecting and analyzing the intelligence we do have, but distributing it much more quickly down the ladder to state and local law enforcement. We also have to do a better job combating ISIS online, where they recruit, where they radicalize. And I don't think we're doing as much as we can. We need to work with Silicon Valley. We need to work with our experts in our government. We have got to disrupt. We have got to take them on in the arena of ideas that unfortunately pollute and capture the minds of vulnerable people. So we need to wage this war against ISIS from the air, on the ground, and online in cyberspace. And here at home, for goodness sakes, we have to finally pass a law prohibiting people on the terrorist watch list from being able to buy a gun in the United States of America. So we've got work to do. I know we can do that work. I'm meeting with a group of terror experts, counterterrorism experts, but I want to just say one additional thing.
I've got 30 seconds left.
Matt Olson, the former director of the National Center on Counterterrorism, has a great article out today saying the last thing we need to do is to play into the hands of ISIS, going after American Muslims, defaming a Gold Star family, the family of Captain Khan, making it more difficult for us to have a coalition with Muslim majority nations.
And we tried to have an agreement.
Not going to help us succeed in defeating ISIS and protecting our American homeland.
All right, so that was the entire sum of Hillary Clinton's work with Matt Lauer tonight in the Commander-in-Chief Forum. She did a good job representing herself. She has very flawed positions, but she has nothing else to sell. Donald Trump, he also sat down with Matt Lauer in that same situation and did very, very well. You're going to hear that in just a couple of minutes. When you start thinking about all this, you start thinking about what we're trying to get done here. And what we're trying to get done is we're trying to get a better country. We're trying to elect someone who has better ideas about where this country needs to go. You do not know who that person is unless you listen to what they say. So Hillary Clinton got her say coming up in just a couple of moments. Donald Trump. The first question, what have you done in your professional or personal life that makes you ready to be the president of the United States and the commander-in-chief? You'll hear what he has to say next. This is the Wells Report. Conservative dollars are rare. As a matter of fact, conservative dollars are rare because the people who possess them take good care of them. The problem with conservative dollars is that sometime or another you have to spend them on things you do need, like, for example, the cell phone in your pocket. Big mobile companies are universally liberal. This is a problem. This cost us conservative Congressman Allen West. It's true. Your money goes from being a conservative dollar to being a liberal one when you give it to a big mobile cell phone company. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report. So what do? I'm telling you, you need to get in touch with Patriot Mobile right this very moment and do something different. Right now, you can get a free Samsung Galaxy S7 with unlimited talk, text, and data for just $70. Mention or enter the promo code WELLS. This is really important, okay? Mention or enter the promo code WELLS when you check out, and you will waive the activation fee for up to 2 lines on the spot. All you got to do is remember my last name, Wells, the Wells Report, 1-800-A-PATRIOT, or check out patriotmobile.com. Call Patriot Mobile today.
More of the Wells Report is coming up next on 660 AM. The Answer.
Talk radio has replaced the town square as the place America goes to talk about the issues of the day. We talk about today's challenges from the standpoint that every problem we face has a solution, and the solutions we choose must keep America great. This is Debbie Georgiadis. America Can We Talk is a woman's voice for America's future. Tune in Sundays from 6 to 8 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer or online at americacanwetalk.org. We talk truth about America.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy here, host of the Big Boat and Outdoor Show, sponsored by DallasBoatsForSale.com. Let me break it down for you. We talk about boats and boating, boat ramps, marinas, lakes and water levels, boat sales, sailboat, sailing, anchoring, sinking, grounding, buying, selling, and enjoying the fun out on the water. You picking up what I'm putting down? If it floats, we talk about it every Saturday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. We all know that summer is busy, a lot going on, and sometimes things slip through the cracks, like the cracks in your walls or sheetrock or the doors that are sticking, the signs of foundation problems that are right in front of your face, but you're just too busy to get to them. Well, that could be a costly delay. I want you to go right now to abacusfoundationrepair.com. Call them if you have the slightest question about foundation trouble, because you do not want this to go any further. 972-406-9000 to call the right company the first time. 972-406-9000. abacusfoundationrepair.com. And just to sweeten the deal for you, give you a little motivation to call them today, $1,000 off. $1,000 off any job with 10 pilings or more. And they're not just any old pilings. They're Millennium composite pilings, the toughest, the best. They're the only North Texas foundation people that have them. So 972-406-9000. Get that foundation fixed right now. 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
Ever wonder what it takes to be a pro athlete? I'm Billy Joe Dupree, former Dallas Cowboy, and I had the privilege of being one for 11 years. Every pro athlete works to be the best they can be. And those of us retired still strive to be the best. It's in our DNA. If you're over 30, your energy level is low, you're having trouble recovering from workouts, or lost interest in sex, Life Restore MD can help. Life Restore MD offers testosterone and growth hormone therapy, ED solutions, medical weight loss programs, and nutrition plans. They are covered by most insurance companies while offering personal concierge medicine. Whether you've tried other clinics or have just put off seeing a physician, give Life Restore MD a call. One doctor's appointment could change the quality of your life. Be your best. Give them a call.
Call Life Restore MD at 800-565-9339. That's 800-565-9339 or liferestoremd.com.
It's time to gear up for fall at John Deere with a new compact utility tractor. Get 0% financing for 60 months, big implement bonuses, and our free 6-year powertrain warranty on versatile, easy-to-use John Deere compact tractors. It's time to gear up today and save. Offer ends October 28, 2016, subject to approved installment credit with John Deere financial terms, conditions, exclusions, and warranty limitations apply. See dealer for details.
Pettit Machinery, now serving you with locations in Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas. Find the location nearest you at pettitmachinery.com or myjohndeeredealer.com.
Hi, I'm Larry Patterson, owner of Glass Doctor. In our disposable society, we're conditioned to throw out the whole thing when just one part goes bad. Like when the insulated glass windows in your home get condensation between the panes. You don't need to replace the whole window. The specialists at Glass Doctor can install new insulated glass in your existing frames with a lifetime warranty for a lot less than you might think. To see how quick and easy it is, visit glassdoctor.com today. That's glassdoctor.com.
All the Glass Doctor will fix your paint. Oh, yeah!
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. 2 corrections officers who were shot in Fresno last week were shot because Thong Bang, a 37-year-old Laotian national, who completed a 16-year rape sentence 2 years ago and was slated for deportation, instead was freed when Laotian officials did not respond to a request by Immigrations and Customs Enforcement to assist in his removal. When Laotian officials failed to respond to that request, ICE requested Mr. Vang in December 2014 due to the Supreme Court ruling on Zedvitas versus Davis. This according to ICE spokeswoman Virginia Kais. The ruling Kais cited held that immigrants under order of deportation but whom no other country would accept may not be held indefinitely absent special circumstances. Would rape qualify as a special circumstance? Apparently not. And so this convicted rapist shot 2 corrections officers last week. Well, I guess he's going to do anything he can to overstay his visa again, I guess, huh? What about the two corrections officers? What about their family? This is the Wells Report.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity, one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. Josh averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. Josh's clients voted, and both D Magazine and Texas Monthly ranked him as the best real estate agent in Dallas. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net and start packing.
You have new wood floors and they look gorgeous. That's the good news. The not so good news, they'll eventually have to be cleaned. More good news, there are plenty of wood floor care products to choose from. Bad news, most products will leave a micro layer of residue each time you clean. The really bad news, eventually your wood floor will get dull and hazy almost regardless of which product you clean it with. Now the great news, Dowworth Clean can remove that unsightly buildup from your wood floor, revealing the original finish once again. At Dowworth, we're more than just carpet cleaners. We clean, restore, polish, and protect every type of flooring in your home, including wood, stone, tile, and even concrete. Call 267-8433 today and ask about a complete flooring makeover for your home. Find out why for over 39 years we've been saying,
because the next best thing to do is Dowworth Clean.
I believe that God created music to connect our soul with heaven.
Critics are calling Hillsong Let Hope Rise a life-changing experience.
When oceans rise.
An incredible film.
This is not about us. It's ultimately about God. You take him out of the equation, we've got nothing.
On September 16th.
Does everything make sense? Absolutely not. But more stuff doesn't make sense without him.
Prepare to have your heart lifted. Hillsong Let Hope Rise. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. In theaters September 16th.
660 AM The Answer.
KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth.
The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler, again questioned about her use of a private email server, Hillary Clinton, during the Commander-in-Chief Forum on NBC News.
Classified material has a header which says top secret, secret, confidential, nothing. And I will repeat this, and this is verified in the report by the Department of Justice. None of the emails sent or received by me had such a header.
Donald Trump praised Vladimir Putin.
The man has very strong control over a country. Now, it's a very different system, and I don't happen to like the system, but certainly in that system, he's been a leader far more than our president has been a leader.
Olympic swimmer Ryan Lochte reportedly facing a 10-month suspension for vandalizing a restroom in Rio, then claiming he was robbed. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 AM, The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. We've said it for a long time. The Trump versus Clinton debates could determine how the entire election goes. When the first of those debates hits the air the night of September 26th, seems like we should be together. JD, are you with me?
Mark, we are ready to recreate the magic of the primary debate season at Studio Movie Grill, 75 in Spring Valley in Dallas. Get your seat now at 660amtheanswer.com. Same great price, just $10.
If you enjoyed the debates on the way to a Republican nominee, wait till that nominee hits the stage against Hillary Clinton. Is this Donald Trump's best opportunity to make a pitch to undecided voters?
One decision is easy. The decision to join us for the 660 AM The Answer watch party for Trump versus Clinton debate number 1. We'll see you on the 26th at Studio Movie Grill. Tickets are just $10 right now at 660amtheanswer.com.
This presentation is sponsored by AAA Auger Plumbing Services, Driving Nails, Gunsmithing, and Shooter Supply, and North Texas Air Conditioning.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. We all know that summer is busy, a lot going on, and sometimes things slip through the cracks, like the cracks in your walls or sheetrock or the doors that are sticky, the signs of foundation problems that are right in front of your face, but you're just too busy to get to them. Well, that could be a costly delay. I want you to go right now to abacusfoundationrepair.com. Call them if you have the slightest question about foundation trouble, because you do not want this to go any further. 972-406-9000 to call the right company the first time. 972-406-9000. abacusfoundationrepair.com. And just to sweeten the deal for you, give you a little motivation to call them today, $1,000 off. $1,000 off any job with 10 pilings or more. And they're not just annual pilings. They are Millennium Composite pilings, the toughest, the best. They're the only North Texas Foundation people that have them. So 972-406-9000. Get that foundation fixed right now. 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
The following is an incredible, life-changing free offer for anyone with hearing problems who wants to start hearing everything more clearly again. We are now offering free in-home trials of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear to anyone who calls this special toll-free number now, 1-800-500-0409. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers. It adjusts to let you find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And Listen Clear is so invisible, people may not even know you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. Don't miss this special life-changing opportunity to hear everything more clearly again for free with a 100% free in-home trial, free shipping, and even free batteries for life. For free information, call now, 1-800-500-0409. That's 1-800-500-0409. 1-800-500-0409.
American Leak Detection. Leak detection without destruction. We find leaks without bashing a hole.
Hi, we'll know with American Leak Detection. When the weather is dry, many people believe their foundation is failing, when in fact, what you have is a plumbing leak. Leaking pipes under your slab can cause movement in your foundation and expensive damage to your home. So before you have your foundation fixed, you should get your plumbing checked. With state-of-the-art technology, American Leak Detection is the only name to call. We are the original leak specialists. We can locate your plumbing leak without destruction and then repair it. Don't let a plumbing leak under your foundation go undetected or waste money on unnecessary foundation repair. Go to AmericanLeakDetection.com today. That's AmericanLeakDetection.com.
We're American Leak Detection. American Leak Detection.
In the world of mattresses, personalized comfort matters. Your body needs a mattress that will fit your unique physical needs. So a personalized fit means less back and neck pain and ultimately better sleep. Eric Nadel for Savin European Sleep Systems. 30 minutes with the pros at Savin. That's exactly what you get. A custom-tailored mattress and a more comfortable sleeping experience. Why buy a Savin? Why would you ever consider anything else? It's simply a better mattress. Savin European Sleep Systems. In Dallas and Southlake. Go to savin.com.
The free Money Matters Retirement Seminar is 1 p.m. or 7 p.m. tomorrow in the Money Matters building in Plano, or 7 p.m. Tuesday, September 13th, Courtyard Marriott, Las Colinas. If you're retired or retiring soon, don't miss it. Learn to properly diversify your retirement plan. Find out what you can do to take advantage of gains when possible while helping protect your retirement from a stock market crash. The best time to take Social Security plus more. Please reserve now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. NBC News did something truly amazing. What they did was they had a commander-in-chief forum on the deck of the USS Intrepid in New York City. Donald Trump was there. Hillary Clinton was there as well. And Matt Lauer handled the interviews very, very well. They were tough and fair. There was a little bit more pugnaciousness in his interview with Donald Trump than Hillary Clinton, but that's expected. So let's talk a little bit about what Donald Trump had to say in this very well-crafted interview by NBC, which proved again, by the way, that NBC News can do it. It's just a question of whether or not they want to actually be a news organization that tells the truth. They proved tonight they could do it. I wonder if they'll keep doing it. Donald Trump was asked, what have you done in your professional or personal life that makes you ready to be commander-in-chief?
Well, I've built a great company. I've been all over the world. I've dealt with foreign countries. I've done very well, as an example, tremendously well dealing with China and dealing with so many of the countries that are just ripping this country. They are just taking advantage of us like nobody's ever seen before. And I've had great experience dealing on an international basis. I look today and I see Russian planes circling our planes. They're taunting us. I see in Iran, I see the boats taunting our ships, our destroyers.
But what have you done in your life that prepares you to send men and women of the United States into harm's way?
Well, I think the main thing is I have great judgment. I have good judgment. I know what's going on. I've called so many of the shots. And I happened to hear Hillary Clinton say that I was not against the war in Iraq. I was totally against the war in Iraq. You can look at Esquire magazine from 2004. You can look at before that. And I was against the war in Iraq because I said it's going to totally destabilize the Middle East, which it has. It has absolutely been a disastrous war. And by the way, perhaps almost as bad was the way Barack Obama got out. That was a disaster.
It was. Let's get to people wondering about Donald Trump's temperament. Can we afford a commander-in-chief who says things that he later regrets?
Well, when you say regret, yeah, sure, I regret. But in the meantime, I beat 16 people, and here I am. So, you know, to a certain extent, there is a regret. I would have liked to have done it in a nicer manner. But I had 16 very talented people that I had to go through, and that was a lot of people.
But when you say
that was a record, Matt. That was a record in the history of Republican politics. I was able to get more votes than anybody ever has gotten in the history of Republican
But when you say
politics,
inflammatory things in a presidential campaign, it's different than saying them when you're commander-in-chief. If you say things you regret when you're commander-in-chief, you can spark a conflict, you can destabilize a region, you can put American lives at risk. Can we afford to take that risk with you?
Well, I think absolutely. I think if you saw what happened in Mexico the other day, where I went there, I had great relationships, everything else. I let them know where the United States stands. I mean, we've been badly hurt by Mexico, both on the border and with taking all of our jobs, or a big percentage of our jobs. And if you look at what happened, look at the aftermath today, where the people that arranged the trip in Mexico have been forced out of government. That's how well we did.
Back in August.
And that's how well we're going to have to do, Matt.
Donald Trump says he will always tell the truth. Matt Lauer goes through a few things he said, and Donald Trump responds.
I know more about ISIS than the generals do. Believe me. Was that the truth?
Well, the generals under Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton have not been successful.
Do you know more about ISIS than they do?
I think under the leadership of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, the generals have been reduced to rubble. They have been reduced to a point where it's embarrassing for our country. You have a force of 30,000 or so people. Nobody really knows, but probably 30,000 people. And I can just see the great, as an example, General George Patton spinning in his grave as ISIS we can't beat.
Yeah. By the way, in case you're wondering, in that particular exchange, Donald Trump is someone who is going toe-to-toe with Matt Lauer, because you can see the combat is beginning to start here. That's okay, because Donald Trump can handle it. But you will see that that's not what happened with Hillary Clinton. The interruptions were trying to get to another subject. Makes you wonder whether or not the interruptions were calculated to stop Hillary from saying something that wouldn't necessarily put her in the best possible light. Because we did see, or we will see, Matt Lauer essentially begin to debate with Donald Trump. That's not exactly the right thing to do. Have you lost faith in the commanders of the military? This was a good, fair question by Matt Lauer when Donald Trump said, hey, the president has reduced the generals to rubble.
I have great faith in the military. I have great faith in certain of the commanders, certainly, but I have no faith in Hillary Clinton or the leadership. You look at what's happened. And, you know, when she comes in and starts saying, oh, I would have done this, I would have. She's been there for 30 years. I mean, we need change, Matt. We have to have it, and we have to have it fast.
Yeah. So let's see. A veteran then asked Donald Trump, assuming you defeat ISIS, what's your plan for the region once we defeat that group?
Sure. I mean, part of the problem that we've had is we go in, we defeat somebody, and then we don't know what we're doing after that. I mean, we lose it. Like, as an example, you look at Iraq, what happened, how badly that was handled. And then when President Obama took over, likewise, it was a disaster. It was actually somewhat stable. I don't think could ever be very stable. It's a war we should have never gone into in the first place. But he came in, he said, when we go out, and he took everybody out. And really, ISIS was formed. This was a terrible decision. And frankly, we never even got a shot. And if you really look at the aftermath of Iraq, Iran is going to be taking over Iraq. They've been doing it, and it's not a pretty picture. And I think you know, and because you've been watching me, I think for a long time, I've always said, shouldn't be there, but if we're going to get out, take the oil. If we would have taken the oil, you wouldn't have ISIS, because ISIS formed with the power and the wealth of that oil.
How are we going to take the oil? How are we going to do that?
You would leave a certain group behind, and you would take various sections where they have the oil. They have People don't know this about Iraq, but they have among the largest oil reserves in the world, in the entire world. And we're the only ones. We go in, we spend $3 trillion, we lose thousands and thousands of lives. And then, Matt, what happens is we get nothing. You know, it used to be to the victor belong the spoils. Now, there was no victor there. Believe me, there was no victor. But I always said, take the oil. One of the benefits we would have had if we took the oil is ISIS would not have been able to take oil and use that oil.
Let me stay on ISIS
to fuel themselves.
Let me stay.
I would have made Iraq a U.S. territory, and I would have just harvested the oil just as a matter of course. I would have set up Iraq Co. And what they would do is they would sell the oil to the United States for the current set of royalty payments. I think that Donald Trump could have answered that question a little bit better. You know, I think he probably could have. Why won't you give people your plan to defeat ISIS, and why are you depending on your generals to make plans? This is what Donald Trump said with this impossible to answer question.
No, but when I do come up with a plan that I like and that perhaps agrees with mine or maybe doesn't, I may love what the generals come back with. I will compete.
But you have your own plan.
I have a plan, but I don't want to, look, I have a very substantial chance of winning. Make America great again. We're going to make America great again. I have a substantial chance of winning. If I win, I don't want to broadcast to the enemy exactly what my plan is. And let me tell you, if I like maybe a combination of my plan and the general's plan or the general's plan, if I like their plan, Matt, I'm not going to call you up and say, Matt, we have a great plan. This is what Obama does. We're going to leave Iraq on a certain
But you're going to convene a panel of generals, and you've already said you know more about ISIS than those generals.
Well, there'd probably be different generals, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm looking at the generals. Today, you probably saw, I have a piece of paper here, I could show it, 88 generals and admirals endorsed me today.
It's a numbers
these are
game.
great.
Hillary
Well,
Clinton
it's
claims
not
more
really.
numbers.
It's not, numbers. The people that have been losing for us for a long period of time. I mean, the fact is, we have had the worst, and you could even say the dumbest foreign policy. Our results are so bad. We would have been better off had we never, ever spent $2 in that part of the world.
Yeah, okay. Once again, I mean, you know, Donald Trump is doing very, very well in this very combative interview with Matt Lauer. But please understand, you know, it comes right down to it. The United States mainstream media only does its job when they are covering Republican political subjects. It's the only time they ever do their job. This is a good, hard, tough interview. But Donald Trump is equal to it. He's doing a fine thing, doing a fine job. And by the way, he was roundly criticized for saying, I know more about this than the generals, talking about ISIS. Then when he says, well, I'm going to give them 30 days to come up with a plan, the first thing out of Matt Lauer's mouth is, what, you're going to depend on somebody else for your plan? You don't get to have it both ways. When you cause someone to react based on a good point, you acknowledge the fact that the person responded to a good point. Nobody expects anybody, not even the President of the United States, to be perfect. But they do expect the presidents of the United States to learn from their mistakes. This was really good. Did anything in your two national securities briefings surprise you? Listen very closely to this. This was a really good exchange.
Yes.
Did you learn new things?
First of all, I had great respect for the people that gave us the briefings. They were terrific people. They were experts on Iraq and Iran and different parts of and Russia. But yes, there was one thing that shocked me. And it just seems to me that what they said, President Obama and Hillary Clinton and John Kerry, who is another total disaster, did exactly the opposite.
All right. And then there was a follow-up. Did you learn anything in the two briefings to make you change your plans? Donald Trump answers that when we come back here on the Wells Report. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump get together for the Commander-in-Chief Forum on the decks of the USS Intrepid in New York. NBC News did it. Great job. And we learned an awful lot tonight. You know, I have to be perfectly honest with you. I am very much interested in hearing how this debate is going to come through. Because if I was in Hillary's camp, I'd be very, very worried. Very worried. This is the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 a.m. The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-600-6316. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-600-6316. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-600-6316. 1-800-600-6316.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 100 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll earn the same degree as you would on campus, from wherever you are, on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For information, text LEARN to 42424. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates, and why 90% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU online degrees, text LEARN to 42424. Again, that's LEARN to 42424.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis from my friends at Viascan of Las Colinas. Simple question. What are we trying to do? Well, Mark, what do you mean? I mean, what are we trying to do? Let's make the list. Eat healthy, lose weight. That's all good. But listen, on that list somewhere, keep aware of our own bodies. Try to fend off heart attacks and cancer by being aware of what's going on inside us. Scan technology exists, and Viascan prices give us the motivation to do the job right. At Viascan of Las Colinas, John Duncan and the crew are there for you at a number I'm about to share so that you can see through the heart scan if you have plaques or blockages going on in your heart. See through the body scan what's going on in various other vital organs, maybe any pesky cancers that are festering there that you can detect early, the virtual colonoscopy, and so much more so we can stay healthy, stay on the planet, stay plugged into life. 972-739-2840. Call them. 972-739-2840, or just Google Viascan. Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Patriot Mobile. You may have noticed it's a time for choosing a president, choosing a cell phone company. Wait a minute, you already chose a cell phone company, didn't you? And maybe you're happy with the service. Sit tight. You happy with the fact that your big mobile cell bill goes to Hillary Clinton for president? Let's do something about that. Let's switch over to patriotmobile.com, patriotmobile.com/Mark. In fact, patriotmobile.com/Mark. Special offers for you. Support a better cause, better prices, same quality of service. Join the revolution at patriotmobile.com/Mark or call 1-800-8-PATRIOT. Got a great special free Samsung Galaxy S7 Unlimited talk text data, $70 a month. Incredible. Mention or enter the promo code MARK at checkout, waive the activation fees. Same number, they'll buy you out of your current contract. Free copy of Lone Star America, How Texas Can Save Our Country, signed by me. Just give them a call at 1-800-A-PATRIOT to get it. PatriotMobile.com/Mark. PatriotMobile.com/Mark.
Be a part of history. Come spend an evening with the artist that has inspired, encouraged, and shaped your faith for over 30 years. Sandy Patty's Forever Grateful. The Farewell Tour. 7 p.m. Sunday night, October 30th. Gateway Church. Tickets available now for your last chance to see Sandy Patty on tour at PremierProductions.com. Don't wait. This concert is selling fast. Produced by Fill the Gap Concerts.
Saying I don't know is no longer acceptable. This is 660 AM, The Answer. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Before the break, did you hear anything in your two national security briefings that surprised you? He said yes. Did you learn anything in the first two briefings to make you change your plans? Was the follow-up. This is what Donald Trump said.
No, I didn't learn anything from that standpoint. What I did learn is that our leadership, Barack Obama, did not follow what our experts and our truly, when they call it intelligence, it's there for a reason, what our experts said to do. And I was very, very surprised in almost every instance. And I could tell, I have pretty good with the body language, I could tell they were not happy. Our leaders did not follow what they were recommending.
Now, I'm going to say something here that is that's based on a little bit of experience, not much, but some. All right. There have been a lot of really serious expert opinions and estimates given to politicians that were completely wrong. It is part and parcel of the process of intelligence versus politics, dedicated professionals versus, okay, management executives, people, essentially politicians, saying, okay, make me understand this again. I'm sorry, I'm not getting this. Can you make me understand this a little bit better? The guy who was a genius at that stuff was Leon Panetta. So just because someone said that this is what we should have done doesn't necessarily mean that they should have done it. Okay? Now, it's easy for Donald Trump to say that because he wasn't involved in any of those decisions. Just trying to make sure that you understand that it's real here. All right? Let's see. Veteran asked Donald Trump, do you believe that an undocumented person who wants to serve deserves to stay in the country legally? Great question. Well asked, well answered.
I think that when you serve in the armed forces, that's a very special situation, and I could see myself working that out. Absolutely.
So she's saying has already served in the armed forces or wants to serve, plans to serve?
Plans to serve in the armed forces. As you know, that under DACA, we already have people who are undocumented
I
who are
think
serving.
Military is a very special thing. If they plan on serving, if they get in, I would absolutely hold those people. Now, we have to be very careful. We have to vet very carefully. Everybody would agree with that. But the answer is it would be a very special circumstance. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Clearly, somebody who fights for the United States of America gets preferential treatment for citizenship in a functioning immigration system, which we do not possess right now, just so you know. A veteran then asked Donald Trump, how would you ease tensions between the U.S. and Russia, bring Putin back to the negotiating table? And Donald Trump had some good answers on that, and we will get to those as we continue here on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer. What are your comments? What are your questions? What have you heard so far? 866-660-5759, 660-5759. The Commander-in-Chief Forum, put on by NBC News. Hillary Clinton answered questions first. We covered that earlier tonight. Donald Trump answered questions after Hillary. This was very well done. Somebody tweeted me and said, that she thought that Donald Trump was rambling and so on. I didn't hear any of that. I didn't hear any of that at all. As a matter of fact, this is my second run through of listening to the interview. I thought he did better this time than I thought the first time. This is the Wells Report.
Welcome to Texas summer. Standing outside, got some ice in a cup, and the ice melts. Then the cup melts. Get in your car, you need an oven mitt to touch the steering wheel. Welcome to Texas summer. And if your AC breaks, oh my, do you need to call somebody? Hey, call my AC company. It's Mark Davis for Walker AC, walkerac.com or 972-4-WALKER, 972 the number 4, Walker. You got an emergency? Boom, same day. They are there. Need a repair? Boom, they will do it. Charge you a fair price. Need a new system? Oh, they've got those, but they're not going to force one on you. They've got an A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Great customer reviews, 972-4-WALKER or walkerac.com. Visit them on Facebook. They're family owned, 52 years in the biz, 50% off a diagnostic fee. Called 972-4-WALKER, 972 the number 4, Walker or walkerac.com. They are my AC company. When we've got a repair need, we call them. We need a new system, we call them. It's walkerac.com, 972-4-WALKER or walkerac.com.
Want to see what you'd look like if you had a flatter belly? Now's your chance, because for a limited time, we're giving away free trials of Somabiotics, the new discovery that flattens bloated bellies fast. But hurry and call now while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-300-5305. Strict limit of 1 free trial per household. These free trials are reserved for anyone, male or female, who's looking for maximum belly flattening in minimum time. Somabiotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. So just think how much better you'll look and feel. Want to see what you'd look like with a flatter belly? Now's your chance. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving these trials of Somabiotics away for free. 1-800-300-5305. That's 1-800-300-5305. If lines are busy, try again. 1-800-300-5305.
If you're a business owner, I want you to imagine standing on home plate in front of a sold-out crowd of 50,000 raving fans at a professional baseball game. They give you the microphone and you have 60 seconds to tell the crowd why they should do business with you. Out of 50,000 people, do you think you might get some new customers? Sure you would. Now imagine you could do that in front of 4 sold-out baseball games. That's 200,000 people. Did you know that's how many people listen to 660 AM The Answer every week? And you have the opportunity to stand in front of the 660 AM The Answer microphone and get 60 seconds to tell our raving fans all about your business. Do you think you'd get new customers if you did that? You bet. The businesses you hear on 660 AM The Answer are knocking it out of the park with new customers. If you're open to seeing how much it costs to advertise your business on 660 AM The Answer, send an email request to advertise@ksky.com. That's advertise@ksky.com. Let's play ball.
The free Money Matters Retirement Seminar is 1 p.m. or 7 p.m. tomorrow in the Money Matters building in Plano, or 7 p.m. Tuesday, September 13th, Courtyard Marriott, Las Colinas. If you're retired or retiring soon, don't miss it. Learn to properly diversify your retirement plan. Find out what you can do to take advantage of gains when possible while helping protect your retirement from a stock market crash. The best time to take Social Security plus more. Please reserve now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
John Truitt here for Simple Sleep Services. Are you ready to stop snoring and treat your sleep apnea? Simple Sleep Services offers the proven custom simple solution. It's covered by medical insurance, and many patients are meeting their deductibles this time of year, which means less cash out of pocket. Learn more at simplesleepservices.com or call 469-685-1700. That's 469-685-1700. Offices conveniently located in both Dallas and Fort Worth. No CPAP, no surgery, just simple sleep.
America was built by people with a few dollars and a dream. And while many don't know it, there's one path to success that still only requires a dream and about $10. That's right. If your dream is to start or grow your business, something as simple as the right business card could make all the difference. And today at Vistaprint.com, you can get 500 full-color business cards for only $9.99. That's right, only $9.99. Just go to Vistaprint.com and enter promo code 9898 at checkout. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 9898.
Any Joe Schmo knows Geico will work to save you money on car insurance. But since money talks, why not just ask the savings?
That's me, Joe's Savings. I'm not literally $1 million, but I feel like it. Why? Because when Joe switched his car insurance at Geico.com, his monthly rate went down and the savings went up. Now he uses the handy Geico mobile app anytime to check out his policy perks. Talk about a win-win. And 2 thumbs up. Man, I wish I had thumbs.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
660 AM. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. Now, the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. President, he's not the president. Or she's not the president either. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump got together tonight with Matt Lauer on the deck of the USS Intrepid. NBC did superb coverage of something they called the Commander-in-Chief Forum. It was beautifully well done. It was real news. It was actually real news. It's the first bit of real news that I've seen NBC do politically. Maybe for, gosh, maybe since 2000, the run-up to the first President Obama term, I suppose. That's what I would say. 866-660-5759 is our telephone number. Your comments welcome. A veteran asked Donald Trump, how would you ease tensions between the U.S. and Russia and bring Putin back to the negotiating table? This is what Donald Trump said.
I think I would have a very good relationship with many foreign leaders. I think it's very sad when you look at Barack Obama, as an example, land Air Force One in China, and they don't want to put out stairs to get off the plane. And he has to use the stairs that mechanics use to get up and down to fix the plane. They wouldn't give him stairs. I think it's very sad when he lands in Saudi Arabia and he lands in Cuba, and there aren't high officials to even greet him. This is the first time in the history, the storied history of Air Force One. I think I would have a very, very good relationship with Putin, and I think I would have a very, very good relationship with Russia. As I said, take a look today. Take a look at what happened with their fighter jets circling one of our aircraft in a very dangerous manner. Somebody said less than 10 feet away. This is hostility. And I saw just 2 or 3 days ago, they looked like they were not exactly getting along. But I looked at President Obama and Putin staring at each other. These were not two people that were getting along. And you know the beautiful part of getting along? Russia wants to defeat ISIS as badly as we do. If we had a relationship with Russia, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could work on it together and knock the hell out of ISIS? Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing?
Let me ask you about...
All right. So, yeah, I believe that there is more... I believe there's a great deal of respect between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. Because I believe that there's, and I think there might be just a little bit of hero admiration on the part of Vladimir Putin, because Vladimir Putin looks at the big American capitalists, you know, like Carl Icahn, Sheldon Adelson, Donald Trump, with a great deal of admiration because of what they've been able to do in a capitalist society and still maintain a responsible space in it. I think that Vladimir Putin wants to be one of those guys. I think that when it comes to President Obama and Vladimir Putin, I think there's a great deal of disrespect between those two men. And the reason that I believe there's a great deal of disrespect between those two men is that Vladimir Putin has forgotten more about the pitfalls and danger of socialism than President Obama will ever know. And for some reason, President Obama believes that when it comes to that particular topic, his knowledge is on par with Vladimir Putin's. Vladimir Putin was ridiculously critical of some of President Obama's policy ideas regarding socialism. And a socialist idea, he was looking at Obamacare and just flat calling it socialism. And made some very interesting comments about it. I don't know. It was years and years ago. I'll see if I can find it during the next long answer. They started talking about, then it was Matt Lauer asking about Putin. What do you think about him? Why do you want to be complimented by someone like this? Was a combative question. Why do you want to be complimented by someone like this? Well, that's a stupid question. The question is, do you have any misgivings about being complimented by someone like Vladimir Putin? That's the way you should have asked the question. Here's how Donald Trump answered it.
Well, he does have an 82% approval rating, according to the different pollsters, who, by the way, some of them are based right here. Look.
He's also a guy who annexed Crimea, invaded Ukraine, supports Assad in Syria, supports Iran, is trying to undermine our influence in key regions of the world, and according to our intelligence community, probably is the main suspect for the hacking of the DNC computers.
Well, nobody knows that for a fact, but do you want me to start naming some of the things that President Obama does?
But do you want to be complimented by that former KGB officer?
Well, I think when he calls me brilliant, I'll take the compliment, okay? The fact is, look, it's not going to get him anywhere. I'm a negotiator. We're going to take back our country. You look at what's happening to our country. You look at the depleted military. You look at the fact that we've lost our jobs. We're losing our jobs like we're a bunch of babies. We're going to take back our country, man. The fact that he calls me brilliant or whatever he calls me is going to have zero impact.
But the fact that you say you can get along with him,
I think I'll be able to get along with him.
Do you think the day that you become president of the United States, he's going to change his mind on some of these key issues?
Possibly. It's possible. I don't know, Matt. It's possible. And it's not going to have any impact. If he says great things about me, I'm going to say great things about him. I've already said he is really very much of a leader. I mean, you can say, oh, isn't that a terrible thing? He called him. I mean, the man has very strong control over a country. Now, it's a very different system, and I don't happen to like the system. But certainly in that system, he's been a leader far more than our president has been a leader. We have a divided country. We have a country where you have Hillary Clinton with her emails that nobody's ever seen, where she deletes 33,000 emails. And that's after getting a subpoena from Congress. If you do that in private business, you get thrown in jail.
Yeah. Donald Trump got stronger and stronger and stronger as this interview continued. A veteran asked him, what is your plan to support veterans after you take office? This may have been the high point of the entire interview.
Well, I love that question because I've been very close to the vets. You see the relationship I have with the vets just by looking at the polls. In fact, today a poll came out, and my relationship has been very good. I have a very, very powerful plan that's on my website that you possibly saw. One of the big problems is the wait time. Vets are waiting 6 days, 7 days, 8 days. And by the way, Hillary Clinton 6 months ago said the vets are being treated essentially just fine. There's no real problem. It's over-exaggerated.
She went on after that and laid out a litany of problems within the VA.
Look, I mean, she made up half of the things she said about me. I'm telling you, she said she was satisfied with what was going on in the Veterans Administration. Now, under my plan, if you've got to wait, and by the way, people are dying online. They're dying, waiting to get to see a doctor. They're waiting 5 days and 6 days. Under a part of my plan, if they have that long wait, they walk outside, they go to the local doctor, they choose the doctor, they choose the hospital, whether it's public or private, they get themselves better. In many cases, it's a minor procedure or a pill or just a prescription. And they end up dying because they can't get to see the doctor. We will pay the bill. They go outside, they get a doctor, they get a prescription, they do what they have to do, and we pay the bill. That is something that I have been praised. And by the way, I never said take the VA, take it, the Veterans Administration private. I wouldn't do that. Too much respect for our people. I would never do that.
Okay.
I heard it was said that I said that. I would not do that. But I do believe When you're waiting in line for 6, 7 days, you should never be in a position like that. You go out, you see the doctor, you get yourself taken care of.
Yeah, that was very good. That was just a very good answer. And like I said, he really, he really started moving through these concepts like Donald Trump does. He really caught the moment in this interview from virtually the beginning. But this was where Donald Trump just basically accelerated away from. This is where he accelerated away from Matt Lauer. Right? A veteran asked Donald Trump, "What's your plan to stop veteran suicide?" This was a biggie.
And actually, it's 22, and it's almost impossible to conceive that this is happening in our country. 20 to 22 people a day are killing themselves. A lot of it is they're killing themselves over the fact that they're under tremendous pain and they can't see a doctor. We're going to speed up the process. We're going to create a great mental health division. They need help. They need help. They need tremendous help. And we're doing nothing for them. The VA is really almost, you could say, a corrupt enterprise. If you look at what's going on, as an example, Matt, in Arizona, where they caught people stealing and they can't even do anything about it. They can't even fire the people. So we are going to make it efficient and good. And if it's not good, you're going out to private hospitals, public hospitals, and doctors. Okay?
Yeah, and once again, that gave him an opportunity to answer a very serious question. The veteran said, 20 people, 20 of my fellow veterans a day. And then that's when Donald Trump said, actually, it's 22. And I reported, I guess it was last week, about a guy who shot himself in the parking lot of one of those damn VA hospitals in Phoenix. Now, I realize that there are probably a lot of veterans that are very concerned about the VA medical center, the VA medical centers, the VA medical systems being shut down in favor of a procurement system that the VA administrates and enforces, by the way. But all I will tell you is this: NASA didn't go to the moon. NASA was a procurement agency. They put out contracts. The private sector built all the pieces. All the contracts were for various things. A contract to put the rockets together, a contract to build the rocket pieces. That's what that was all about. The VA needs to stop trying to be a medical system. They need to be an administration. They need to be a procurement agency for the best medical care that veterans will ever get. Ever. And that's not what they're getting. Veteran asked Donald Trump, what would you do to support the sexual assault victims in the United States military?
The numbers are staggering, hard to believe even, but we're going to have to run it very tight. I, at the same time, want to keep the court system within the military. I don't think it should be outside of the military, but we have to come down very, very hard on that. And your daughter is absolutely right. It is a massive problem, but we have to do something about that problem. And the best thing we can do is set up a court system within the military. Right now, the court system practically doesn't exist. It takes too long.
In 2013, on this subject, you tweeted this, quote, 26,000 unreported sexual assaults in the military, only 238 convictions. What did these geniuses expect when they put men and women together?
Well, it is a correct tweet. There are many people that think that that's absolutely correct, and we need to have a strength.
So this
and we
should
need
have
to
been expected, and does that mean the only way to fix it is to take women out of the military?
And by the way, since then it's gotten worse. No, not to kick them out, but something has to be happening. Right now, part of the problem is nobody gets prosecuted. You have reported, and the gentleman can tell you, you have the report of rape and nobody gets prosecuted. There are no consequences. When you have somebody that does something so evil, so bad as that, there has to be consequence for that person. You have to go after that person. Right now, Nobody's doing anything. Look at the small number of results. I mean, that's part of the problem.
And then it was a very important question that Matt Lauer asked. He probably should have asked it sooner in the interview.
Gotta go to break.
But this is when the question got asked. It had to do with what kind of research or homework does Donald Trump do as he prepares to become the commander-in-chief? Great question. And Donald Trump, it was an okay answer. Not my favorite answer in the interview, but he did okay. You'll hear what he had to say coming up here in just a couple of minutes. You're listening to the Wells Report as we go back through the Commander-in-Chief Forum. This in front of a lot of America's great veterans, people who have served this land. Donald Trump was one of the guests. Hillary Clinton was another. They did great work. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. You are listening to the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer. Going through this very important news tonight. I want to thank you very much for being a part of it. Again, if you have a comment on anything that you hear either of these candidates say, 866-660-5759 will get you through to the Wells Report as we head towards midnight on 660 AM The Answer.
You need a plan as you get closer to retirement. A plan that'll take you from where you are now to the retirement that you've always dreamed about. The first step on that path is to tune into the Wealth Smart Radio Show, Sundays at 7 a.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. You only get to retire once, so it's really important you do it right. And your host, Reed Johnson, president of Lake Point Advisory Group, helps people retire successfully every day. So don't miss Wealth Smart every Sunday at 7 a.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
How much of your life are you losing because of pain? I'm Dr. Chad Glines, DC at Genesis Back and Neck, and I really do want to give you your life back.
Hi, my name is Brenda. I had 5 of the lower disc of my back that had herniated, and they had pressed against the nerves, and I could not move, hadn't felt my right leg in 8 months. The pain was so bad. Neurologists and surgeons had told me I'd never walk. And then I went back into the office with Dr. Chad, and I told him, I've had so many people tell me there's nothing I can do. And he says, I'm pretty sure I can get you out of that wheelchair. And little by little, he got me up walking, and it has gotten so much better. I cannot tell you how much I admire everybody in that office.
That just blesses me to hear that. At Genesis, we accept most major insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. Call me. 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922 or online at genesisback.com.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a free trial of New Biotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a free trial, call 1-800-600-4851. Strict limit of 1 per household.
I used to be plagued by potbelly and constant bloating. After taking New Biotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. Think you might be bloated? See how much flatter New Biotics makes your belly. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-600-4851. That's 1-800-600-4851. 1-800-600-4851.
Got a crack? Go Power Jack. Have you noticed cracking in or around your home? Is it getting to be more than you can handle? Call the professionals at Power Jack Foundation Repair. We can help. Now offering an exclusive patented steel pier system for slab repair. It gives your home the lift it needs in a single hydraulic powered motion. We know you want peace of mind when it comes to your home and your family's safety. That's why PowerJack Foundation Repair is proud to be the only authorized provider of the next level in foundation repair here in the Metroplex. Go powerjack.com to schedule your free in-home consultation or call 866-638-PJFR. That's 866-638-7537. Locally owned and operated since 2001, PowerJack Foundation Repair at gopowerjack.com.
Got it right. Go PowerJack.
John Truitt here for Simple Sleep Services. Are you ready to stop snoring and treat your sleep apnea? The Simple Sleep system from Simple Sleep Services is a compact, comfortable, custom-fit solution that's proven to stop snoring and treat your sleep apnea. It's covered by medical insurance, and many patients are meeting their deductibles this time of year. This may mean less cash out of pocket for you and your partner to get the restful sleep you deserve. No mood-killing mask, no pain or downtime. Just a better night's sleep for you and the loved one next to you. I personally use the Simple Sleep system, and I wouldn't go a night without it. Learn more at simplesleepservices.com or call 469-685-1700. That's 469-685-1700 or simplesleepservices.com. For your convenience, we have offices located in both Dallas and Fort Worth. No CPAP, no surgery, just simple sleep.
Yes.
Call 469-685-1700 or go to simplesleepservices.com. That's simplesleepservices.com.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. The Wells Report, must-hear radio on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. What kind of research or homework are you doing as you prepare to become commander-in-chief? That was a question that Matt Lauer asked Donald Trump. We'll get to that in just a couple of minutes, but he did answer this question. We don't have time to play the 2-minute response on the question I'm referring to, but we do have time to play this one. Have you given much thought to having put American troops into harm's way? Here's what Donald Trump said.
I think it's the most difficult decision you can possibly ever make. You're talking about death, and we're talking death to not just our side. We're talking death all over. I would be very, very cautious. I think I'd be a lot slower. She has a happy trigger. You look, she votes for the war.
But
she
have
goes
you thought
into
about
Libya.
personally the emotional burden of that moment?
I think it's a tremendous burden. I think there is no greater burden than anybody could have. I've been preparing this for a long time. And, you know, my theme is make America great again. We're going to make America great again. But, Matt, we've also got to make America strong again. And right now we are not strong. Believe me, we have a depleted military. We're the greatest people in the world in our military, but it is very sadly depleted.
The Republic.
All right, so that was the last question. We do have another question that we'll have with Donald Trump after the top of the hour news. What kind of research or homework are you doing to prepare to become the commander-in-chief? Again, very impressed with Matt Lauer's work. I'm not a big fan of Matt Lauer. I don't like his interviewing technique. I think he tries to become too much of the story. But he did a good job tonight with the Commander-in-Chief Forum on the decks of the USS Intrepid in New York City tonight. We'll finish it up next on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
I used to love wearing dresses and shorts. Then I started getting spider veins, and even worse, those embarrassing, bulging, varicose veins. For a while, I covered up my legs, but then I discovered Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S., and for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing summer dresses and shorts again.
Make sure your legs look and feel their best for summer. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-375-4806. That's 800-375-4806. 800-375-4806.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, you should give Physicians Mutual Insurance Company a call. 1-800-200-9887. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away. So you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-200-9887. That's 1-800-200-9887. 1-800-200-9887.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY in Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. GOP presidential nominee Donald Trump proposing a collaboration with Russia to defeat ISIS during Wednesday's NBC News Commander-in-Chief Forum.
Russia wants to defeat ISIS as badly as we do.
His Democratic rival Hillary Clinton appearing at the forum, saying a commander-in-chief must show steadiness.
An absolute rock steadiness and mixed with strength to be able to make the hard decision.
The candidates appeared at separate times during the forum. Remnants of Tropical Storm Newton have brought rain, powerful winds, and uncharacteristically high humidity to desert cities in Arizona. That storm killing 4 people in the resort city of Cabo San Lucas. Apple unveiling its latest iPhone Wednesday. In addition to eliminating the headphone jack, the new generation phone has a new camera system.
It is the best camera ever in an iPhone.
Apple marketing chief Phil Schiller. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM The Answer. Sean Hannity finds Trump's approach refreshing.
Donald Trump is a risk taker. Donald Trump is not afraid to speak his mind. Donald Trump, showed that you can take a position of strength and take a risk and stand on your position. And lo and behold, instead of making an apology tour like Obama, other countries will respect your strength. He's willing to say what needs to be said. It's actually refreshing.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Larry Elder at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
This is Greg Thornberry of the King's College in New York for townhall.com. On Sunday, one of the conservative movement's most vocal and effective leaders went on to her eternal reward. Phyllis Schlafly, founder of the Eagle Forum and one of the principal boosters of the Reagan Revolution, died at 92. Behind her, she left a legacy of women who championed traditional views of family in the public square. Her most memorable accomplishment was stopping the Equal Rights Amendment from meeting the threshold it needed to be ratified into the Constitution. She fought a decade-long war against ERA and won. The measure fell short. Schlafly simply felt that the Constitution was fine, as is. An amendment was not needed to give women extra rights. Women flourished in America, ergo, to her, ERA was overkill. Leftists have reviled her for these efforts. On social media this past weekend, words of judgment have been both uncivil and reprehensible, all directed against a woman who dared to speak her mind. I'm Greg Thornberry.
Warning, if you've recently declared bankruptcy, you're going to want to change the station, because there's an alternative to bankruptcy and it could be faster than you'd ever think possible. But if you've already declared bankruptcy and have missed this opportunity, you'll want to change the station now. Here it is. Right now, the company that has resolved more credit card debt than anyone in the U.S. may be able to settle your debt too. You could reduce your debt with one low monthly program payment. If you call right now and qualify, Freedom Debt Relief will show you how low your monthly program payment could be for free. Call now. 1-800-400-8131. That's 1-800-400-8131. If you're struggling with debt, this could be your answer. And the bigger your debt, the more money you could save. To find out for free how much of your hard-earned money Freedom Debt Relief could help you save, call now. 1-800-400-8131. 1-800-400-8131. 1-800-400-8131.
The following is an incredible, life-changing free offer for anyone with hearing problems who wants to start hearing everything more clearly again. We're now offering free in-home trials of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear to anyone who calls this special toll-free number now. 1-800-500-0409. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers. It adjusts to let you find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And Listen Clear is so invisible, people may not even know you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. Don't miss this special life-changing opportunity to hear everything more clearly again for free with a 100% free in-home trial, free shipping, and even free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-500-0409. That's 1-800-500-0409. 1-800-500-0409.
Be a part of history. Come spend an evening with the artist that has inspired, encouraged, and shaped your faith for over 30 years. Sandy Patty's Forever Grateful, the Farewell Tour, 7 p.m. Sunday night, October 30th. Gateway Church. Tickets available now for your last chance to see Sandy Patty on tour at premierproductions.com. Don't wait, this concert is selling fast. Produced by Fill the Gap Concerts.
Hi, I'm Larry Patterson, owner of Glass Doctor. In our disposable society, we're conditioned to throw out the whole thing when just one part goes bad. Like when the insulated glass windows in your home get condensation between the panes. You don't need to replace the whole window. The specialists at Glass Doctor can install new insulated glass in your existing frames with a lifetime warranty for a lot less than you might think. To see how quick and easy it is, visit glassdoctor.com today. That's glassdoctor.com.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah!
Big Town is back. Don't miss premier gun shows at Big Town this weekend. Big Town is back with over 700 tables of guns, knives, ammo, and accessories. Come and buy, sell, or trade. Whether you're a first-time buyer or looking for that special piece to add to your gun, knife, ammo, or military collection, we have it all under one roof. Visit our website at BigTownGunShow.com or call 817-732-1194. Premier gun shows at Big Town this weekend at the Big Town Event Center. Don't miss this show.
The free Money Matters Retirement Seminar is 1 p.m. or 7 p.m. tomorrow in the Money Matters building in Plano, or 7 p.m. Tuesday, September 13th, Courtyard Marriott, Las Colinas. If you're retired or retiring soon, don't miss it. Learn to properly diversify your retirement plan. Find out what you can do to take advantage of gains when possible while helping protect your retirement from a stock market crash. The best time to take Social Security plus more. Please reserve now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
660 AM, The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Finally, this was the second to last question, the penultimate question asked by Matt Lauer to Donald Trump. What kind of research or homework are you doing as you prepare to become commander-in-chief? Let me get to Jerry in Orlando, Florida. Thanks very much for joining us, Jerry. Welcome to the show.
Yes, I've been listening to the show. You had some great comments there. I just wanted to smash the TV when I was listening to Hillary's response to that serviceman who said, "How can we trust you? I've been dealing in classified documents my whole life. How can we trust you?" And she stood there and just lied to the American people once again by saying that she didn't know anything about classified documents. And yet the document dump on Friday says she couldn't recall what she meant on the document. And then she tries to say that everybody else is doing it, so I did it. I mean, she's just lying through both two front teeth right on. And of course, the sycophant didn't even challenge her on that statement. Matt Lauer never said, "Well, wait a minute. Director Comey said you had classified documents in your email, and some of the documents were so classified that even the congressman couldn't even look at them."
They are so classified. They're so classified that you can't even read an unredacted report about them.
I know, and so she sends her lies to the American people saying, "Oh, I know what the classified documents say. They all got headings that say this is classified."
She can either play this game.
She used a different document. She must have used a different BlackBerry, the one they smashed with a hammer to send the document.
Yeah. So here's the situation. You can either be very serious about classified information, you can take it very, very seriously, and you can go to jail for mishandling it, or You can be a complete nincompoop who has no real clue about what you're talking about, which is basically what Comey said about her. And you can go home and try to develop a big enough brain to be able to do the job you want. But you can't do both. You cannot say that I didn't know what I was doing when it came to classified information and then say, but I take it very seriously. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. And by the way, when you take something off of a secure email system, it is classified at some level. Why else would you put it on a secure system? You can put it on an FOUO system, which is not a classification, by the way. Classification begins with confidential. FOUO, which is for official use only, can be transmitted in the open. But you have to have a reason to be a recipient of that email. She thinks that what she's dealing with is because if it doesn't have this special heading, which they don't have.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, and I guess she just I guess she believes that since Comey gave her an escape route, okay, she's stupid. That now she can say anything she wants to without having to be challenged by it.
Yeah, but she can't have it both ways.
She can't. She can't. Absolutely can't.
That's the double standard right there.
Jerry, how'd you find the show in Orlando, Florida?
Well, I like to listen to The Answer here in Orlando, and the late night show in Orlando is not really what I want to listen to. So I listen to you guys, you and Mark Davis in the morning, and at nighttime. So I listen to you on iHeartRadio at nighttime.
Well, that's really, really cool, man. You just made the promo. I appreciate it, brother. Take care. Bye-bye. Let me get to Daniel in Mansfield. Daniel, welcome to the show. You finally called at the beginning of a segment.
Yeah, trying to do better. I'm trying to improve.
There you are. How have you been?
I'm well. I have family in the military.
Yes, sir.
My uncle served in Vietnam.
Yes, sir.
My cousin served in the first Iraq engagement.
Uh-huh.
Here's the question they often bring up, and I often ask them: how does a veteran, especially the one who served in Vietnam,
yes,
support Donald Trump, who had 5 deferments, and then this year attacked John McClain for fighting in the war that he avoided? How does Republicans support the man who got 5 deferments, end up playing collegiate sports, and then go after the Khan family and question the Gold Star mother? I don't understand it.
Let's do this. Let me take these one at a time. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I have real trouble, with people who do not contribute their talent and capability, at least at some level for some length of time, to the United States military, especially when they seek to lead that military. I don't have flattering things to say about people in the Vietnam War who took 5 deferments. Now, I'm assuming they're all legal, but I think one of the things that I use to moderate my feelings about any particular given individual, especially of that age, Daniel, is whether they served in the Vietnam War. I think the guy who hits it out of the park for stupid things to say regarding Vietnam would be Dick Cheney, who said, I just had other priorities than fighting a war for my nation. And all I can tell you is that as Secretary of Defense and as the Vice President, he certainly acquitted himself very, very well for the United States military. But that doesn't mean that I give him a pass on his conduct in Vietnam. I won't give him a pass. I won't give Donald Trump a pass either. Donald Trump is not perfect. I've got big problems with Donald Trump in a lot of different reasons and ways. But the case of the matter is that I've got to look at this from a standpoint as me, just being me, Jon-David Wells. I've got to look at this as the person I think it would be the best president. And I think that when you ask that question, I think you ask a question that you're asking me a question that, all things considered, no, he's not perfect, but I think he'd be a better president. You also skipped. You went through a lot of other things there. You said that it was people in Vietnam who had to see this guy with deferments, and you said there was another bit to that question.
Yeah, the Khan family this year.
Oh, the Khan family. Okay, so Khan, as it turns out, is a Democrat, very active in the Democrat Party. He is a guy who, when it comes to exploiting his son's heroic death and service to the United States of America, the first guy to exploit it was Khan. And he stepped into the political arena with that story first. Okay? As it turns out, he got paid $25,000 for the speech. I think that's important. I think that if you step into a political arena and you assert statements directly challenging a candidate, what comes back, it's all fair in love and war in politics. So I believe that now there are a lot of people that want to trash Donald Trump for criticizing the Khan family. Well, the Khan family started it. And that's something that has to get said. Now, both sides made good points. I got it. But in this very narrow, and I think Mr. Khan had a lot of good things to say. But I think that criticizing Donald Trump for criticizing Mr. Khan, I think that's where I draw the line.
Okay, so my question is this.
Okay.
And again, we're talking. There's no Democratic president or candidate. Well, let's put it this way. Had President Obama said the things that Donald Trump has said, had he gone after, let's say Hillary Clinton went after the mother who lost her son in Benghazi, you guys on talk radio would be livid about that. Sometimes it's good just to be quiet. Let
Daniel,
the grieving parents.
You see, yeah, except that that's not what they were doing. They were playing politics, man.
Well, she's suing Hillary Clinton. Am I correct on that?
She's not going to win
at the convention.
She's not going to win. She's not going to win. Okay, I mean, because that just doesn't work. You don't get to step into that forum and then not abide by the rules of that forum. And no judge is going to take that case. So what? There was something else you asked me. What was it?
I mean, that's pretty much it. I have one more question.
Please.
What is it? Not hang up and listen. The news that came out recently that former Secretary of State Colin Powell sent emails to Hillary advising her on how to avoid using the government official communications by using his own personal device. In this case, he used his own computer. So that's out there now, where he actually gave her advice on how to do it. Doesn't that kind of indicate what you were saying?
Okay, no, it doesn't, because because Colin Powell, and don't leave. Colin Powell said when it comes to personal things ended up being in the public the public sector. And that was what he was trying to get her to avoid by using a private system for private communications, not official communications. Official communications, he used a laptop on his desk. And he made that very clear. And then he also came back and he said, look, these people are trying to nail me for giving her permission to do something that I didn't give her permission to do. Official business got handled on official business channels with official government equipment. And that's what Hillary should have done. If Hillary had done that, we'd have never heard about any of this stuff.
Well, I'm not arguing that point, what she should have done. We all admit she shouldn't have done it, but I think there's an email. Are you referring to the email that Elijah Cummings made available that he got turned
There was no doubt about the fact that Colin Powell sent a letter with advice for Hillary to use for private emails only, for non-official emails only, to use a private system with a private BlackBerry and so on and so forth, because you did not want any of that material falling into the private sector. Now, if Hillary had done that for foundation business, either Clinton Family Foundation or Clinton Global Initiative, nobody could bitch about any of that, man. That had nothing to do with any of it. The problem came when she started taking U.S. government official classified information off of secure systems and putting them on private systems. That right there is a felony.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
so
my question.
Well, I just want to make sure that, I mean, and I really don't have to worry about this because you keep listening. But I'm not being partisan here. I'm just trying to report the news.
No, you're not being partisan. You give me your honest opinion, and that's all I can ask for. But again, to me, Trump is the most flawed candidate in my recent memory. He changed, even with his immigration plan, he just recently changed his mind on that again. He's not settled, but I believe this too. When the debates come around, he better be prepared. He's going to get exposed. He can't hide behind insults and 15 other people.
Well, we'll see, Dan. Listen, man, thanks for your phone call. I missed you. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
It's Baylor Bears football right here on 660 AM The Answer. Join John Morris and JJ Joe as they bring you every bone-jarring hit and sensational touchdown as the Bears compete for the Big 12 title.
Tune in this Saturday as the Baylor Bears take on the SMU Mustangs with pregame at 2 p.m. and the kickoff at 2:30 p.m. That's the pregame at 2 and the kickoff at 2:30 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. We've said it for a long time. The Trump versus Clinton debates could determine how the entire election goes. When the first of those debates hits the air the night of September 26th, seems like we should be together. JD, are you with me?
Mark, we are ready to recreate the magic of the primary debate season at Studio Movie Grill, 75 in Spring Valley in Dallas. Get your seat now at 660amtheanswer.com. Same great price, just $10.
If you enjoyed the debates on the way to a Republican nominee, wait till that nominee hits the stage against Hillary Clinton. Is this Donald Trump's best opportunity to make a pitch to undecided voters?
One decision is easy. The decision to join us for the 660 AM The Answer watch party for Trump versus Clinton debate number 1. We'll see you on the 26th at Studio Movie Grill. Tickets are just $10 right now at 660amtheanswer.com.
This presentation is sponsored by AAA Auger Plumbing Services, Adair's Fine Floors, etc., and CharlesParish.com, your North Texas real estate buyer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friend Josh DeShong, the real estate.
Checking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's promo time for those people watching on television. This is where I do my promos. And I want to make this very clear. I do not have a script. These are all extemporaneous, and occasionally they suck. So quit making fun of me, okay? This is the way I do it. This is my process. I'm just saying. All right, so here we go. Should it be possible for you to get into legal trouble for the way you handle your garbage? On the next edition of the Wells Report, I'm going to talk to you about the Fort Worth Trash Gestapo. I'm not kidding. There's a group of people in Fort Worth city government that believe that your garbage and the way you handle your garbage can be a way for them to throw you in jail. I'm not kidding. I'm serious, and I'll give you more information next time on the Wells Report. Mark Davis, it's Thursday morning. Thank you very much for letting me come by and say hi. On the next edition of the Wells Report, we're going to talk about a guy in Fort Worth, Texas, who found himself the recipient of an arrest warrant for the way he handled his garbage. You know something? I have to tell you that I live in Fort Worth too, and they tried to give me a bunch of garbage for the way I was handling my garbage, and I told them I'm not going to put up with their garbage, and so I stopped. I'll explain the whole thing on the next edition of the Wells Report when we ask, should you get thrown in jail for the way you handle your trash in Fort Worth? I say no. What do you say? We'll find out next time on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Look like if you had a flatter belly? Now's your chance, because for a limited time, we're giving away free trials of Somabiotics, the new discovery that flattens bloated bellies fast. But hurry and call now while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-300-5305. Strict limit of 1 free trial per household. These free trials are reserved for anyone, male or female, who's looking for maximum belly flattening in minimum time. Somabiotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. So just think how much better you'll look and feel. Want to see what you'd look like with a flatter belly? Now's your chance. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving these trials of Somabiotics away for free. 1-800-300-5305. That's 1-800-300-5305. If lines are busy, try again. 1-800-300-5305.
Mattress shopping lately? Then you know the stores around here are pretty much all the same, with the same mix of brands and models, not to mention all the confusing pricing. Eric Nadel for Savin European Sleep Systems. There's one mattress that's very different. It's the Savin Organic Mattress, designed for deeper, more restful sleep. I should know. I've slept on a Savin mattress for almost a decade. Why buy a Savin? Why would you ever consider anything else? It's simply a better mattress. Savin European Sleep Systems. In Dallas and Southlake, learn more at savin.com.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report is on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about how FBI Director James Comey had a small conversation with FBI employees. There may be a little bit of, shall we say, dissension in the ranks, maybe? Yeah. We'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. But first, Kurt in Bedford, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hello, JD. How are you?
I am having the time of my life. How are you?
God bless the Air National Guard of Texas.
The Air National Guard?
The whole Guard unit of Texas.
Okay, why?
Because I like Guard units, and my father shot down the first MiG in Korea from the Texas Air National Guard, which was commemorated in a painting because he was the first person from an Air National Guard unit to shoot down a MiG, a jet fighter. And it was from the 182nd out of San Antonio, the Alamo Squadron.
I know those guys. There's an F-86D, or it may be an L. I'm not exactly sure, but there's an F-86D that's parked out in front of Camp Mabry.
Is that right?
That's one of my favorite jets. I love that jet.
Yeah, my father broke the sound barrier in the F-86. Believe it or not, I don't know what model, but he got a little medal for it. He was like number 72 to do it. The first 100 guys got a medal.
Yeah, you do that in a shallow dive. You firewall the motor, you do it in a shallow dive, and you can break the sound barrier. It has the all-flying tail. The later models had the all-flying tail, so you get through the transonic zone. And
yeah, I'm thinking it's an E model. I don't know, but now we're getting off in aeronautical.
It wasn't really an E.
It
was a D. It could have been a Saber Dog, which was the interceptor version.
Could have been. He did it over the middle of Lake Erie because he told me the story.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Anyways, I love the Guard units.
Cool.
But I wanted to address one of your callers there about Monsieur Khazir Khan, the aggrieved parent, the Gold Star parent. And he's a Muslim immigration lawyer, and his law firm, they take care of. They have a CPA division, and they take care of Clinton's cash, and they're also funded by Saudi Arabia funds. And also, right after he gave his little thing at the DNC, he also took down his website because he didn't want anybody to find out certain things.
Yeah, he had a colorful past, and I forgot that. My circumstance is this: it takes all kinds, e pluribus unum, all that. I have no problem with the fact that he wanted to stand up and say what he wanted to say. I do believe that he needed to come clean with the fact that he got paid $25,000 to do it.
I didn't like the fact that he, Captain Khan was a true hero. He died.
He was
from all accounts.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just agreeing with you. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's a great hero, and he was a captain, and he was trying to protect his mates, and he died as a result of trying to do the right thing.
Sure.
And for Mr. Khan to use his son's death,
exactly. I mean,
in a political way.
Yeah, I mean, he crossed the line first. It's, you can tell the story, and it's a beautiful and wonderful story of heroism and valor. There's no doubt about it. But when you use that to beat a political drum, there's music that comes back, and you don't get to start it and then complain about where it goes when you lose control of it. Sorry, that's just the way it works. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. Back with more in just a moment.
Hugh Hewitt believes Trump just restarted his campaign.
Yesterday was Donald Trump's best day of the presidential campaign, standing next to the Mexican president, giving his very diplomatic remarks. And Hillary Clinton, meanwhile, continues to spiral down, lost in lies, lost in corruption. And it is a remarkable turn of events.
The Hugh Hewitt Show, weekday mornings at 5, right before Mark Davis at 7 on 660 AM. The Answer.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
I used to love wearing dresses and shorts. Then I started getting spider veins, and even worse, those embarrassing, bulging, varicose veins. For a while, I covered up my legs. But then I discovered Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing summer dresses and shorts again.
Make sure your legs look and feel their best for summer. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-375-4806. That's 800-375-4806. 800-375-4806. Message and data rates may apply.
When did American men get so soft? Today's average red-blooded American man has less testosterone than his father, and his father has less testosterone than his father. Before we turn into a country of powder puffs, Force Factor is launching the Man Up America event. We want to send every man in America a complimentary bottle of the breakout supplement taking GNC by storm. Test X 180 Ignite, loaded with free testosterone-boosting manliness. Get your complimentary bottle by texting MAN to 321-321. Test X 180 Ignite raises levels of free testosterone in your body to help build lean muscle during workouts. Plus, it helps incinerate fat, fuel explosive sexual desire, and improve performance. Now you can continue to feel like the real men that made this country great. Do yourself a favor. Do America a favor. Text MAN to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle. That's a complimentary bottle by texting MAN to 321-321.
You can buy your next gun anywhere, but there's nowhere like the Texas Gun Pros. There are gun shows, big box stores, and even the occasional eccentric dealer. But there is no one like the Texas Gun Pros. Texas Gun Pros are truly your pros for all your gun needs, bringing you big store selection with a local family experience. There truly is no one like Texas Gun Pros. What else makes the Texas Gun Pros stand out from the rest? An online catalog with hundreds of guns, guaranteed to have the one you are looking for. Texas Gun Pros is the only place in North Texas that can give you the gun you want for the price you can afford. Don't miss out on the amazing selection and friendly staff at Texas Gun Pros. Stop by their North Richland Hills location or visit them on the web at texasgunpros.com. That's texasgunpros.com. texasgunpros.com. And see how it feels to be a member of the Texas Gun Pros family.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at Zero Res. The turn to cooler weather means more activity, a lot going on, maybe more rain, more mud, more need to clean the carpet. So there's more reason than ever to call Zero Res for the $33 per room Mark Davis Show special. 214-37-CLEAN, 214-37-CLEAN, pre-treated, cleaned, and sanitized. Then let them clean other stuff. Hardwood floors, fantastic shine. Drapes, upholstery, they do it all. When they're done, $50 gift certificate to Estilo Gaucho Brazilian Steakhouse. 214-37-CLEAN for Zero Res. 214-37-CLEAN.
I believe that God created music to connect our soul with heaven.
Critics are calling Hillsong Let Hope Rise a life-changing experience. An incredible film.
This is not about us. It's ultimately about God. You take him out of the equation, but nothing.
On September 16th.
Does everything make sense? Absolutely not. But more stuff doesn't make sense without him.
Prepare to have your heart lifted. Hillsong Let Hope Rise. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. In theaters September 16th. 660 AM. The Answer. 660 AM. TheAnswer.com. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Tell you what, Mark Davis is 2 o'clock in the morning. I think you should join him then because he's really, really good at what he does. Here, let me prove it to you. Mark, tell him.
Hey, JD, happy Wednesday night. Tomorrow morning, we'll look at excerpts from the Commander-in-Chief Forum. How did that go? They put Hillary up there. They put Trump up there, taking a look at those who would run the military better issues. Hillary has all this experience. I recognize that. But as I've said a few times here, all the experience in the world is meaningless if everything you believe is wrong. Trump has zero experience in foreign policy, but has some beliefs like actually beating ISIS that could be of great value. So we'll put them up side by side. Take a look at Overnight News. It's our big happening Thursday morning show. Join us, Mark Davis Show tomorrow, 7 to 10 a.m., right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Thanks very much, my friend. I appreciate it greatly. 866-660-5759 is our telephone number. Telephone number? Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Hang on a second. I got to take care of a small amount of business here. Let me do this. Got to take care of this. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have a chat room on the Wells Report on YouTube live events, and this is usually a place of polite conversation. You know, and as a matter of fact, I kind of enforce polite conversation. I just do. I don't mean it's spirited. I mean, there's some good give and take. But we just had a racist join us, and we just don't do that here.
Oops.
Yeah, we just don't do that here. And he was quoting things that were true because I was checking on what he was quoting and so on and so forth. But, you know, just because you can say something and just because it might even be true doesn't mean that you should, right? And so what I wanted to do is just wanted to send that guy on his way. I asked him politely twice. So there you go. One of the hardest things I've had to do this year was watch James Comey do some very, very difficult work. Nothing in the United States is easy. It's all very difficult. It's all very difficult because this country requires a lot of its citizens, especially when there's so much power given to so many citizens. It's really, really hard to to make the right decision, to make the right call. James Comey made the wrong call. And to say I'm disappointed in it is both at one point too harsh and at another not harsh enough. Let me try to explain. James Comey looked at every piece of information that was presented to him through a set of circumstances involving a private email server that was being used in an illegal way by a high government official. This high government official was running for president at the time. And for James Comey to interact in a way that he would interact with, say, if it was someone who was not a member of the cultural elite or the political elite in this nation, he would have simply moved forward with what I suspect would have been a pretty damning indictment, and the person that was involved in the indictment would be given a fair trial, and then after being found guilty would have been sent to jail, and James Comey would not have thought twice about it. Indeed, when James Comey took over the case personally, I said it's because he wants to make sure that there are no mistakes when he gets to the end of this investigation and says, we recommend the indictment of Hillary Clinton. But in reality, it turned out that what he was doing was trying to make sure that he guided the investigation very carefully to the point where he could have some kind of way to back away from the case without damaging himself politically or damaging Hillary Clinton politically or being a part of the American presidential story in 2016. The problem with all of that is that that's the choice he made. How do we know? Because he's still explaining himself. He is continually explaining his decision and his thought process over and over and over. It's because he made the wrong decision. What James Comey should have done was gotten to the end of all of that, and what he should have said was, we recommend an indictment against Hillary Clinton. Or he could have said, we recommend further action, and dump the whole thing into the lap of Loretta Lynch. It's her job, in fact, to move forward with or not move forward with any of that. Then he could have protected his now, and it pains me to say it, badly damaged reputation. He's not going to recover from this. It's so bad that he actually had to talk to his own people in the FBI. Let me give you an idea of what I'm talking about. In USA Today, the FBI director offered the latest defense of his decision not to recommend criminal charges in the now closed investigation of Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server and a colorful memo to bureau employees. And here's what he said: those suggesting that we are political or some part of some fix either don't know us or they are full of baloney, and maybe some of both. He said the ultimate decision not to recommend charges was not a cliffhanger, despite all the chest beating by people no longer in the government. There really wasn't a prosecutable case. In a memo to employees today, Comey said the decision to not recommend charges against the now Democrat nominee was not a close call. This is from Yvonne Perez, CNN Justice correspondent. At the end of the day, the case itself was not a cliffhanger, despite the chest beating by people no longer in government. There really wasn't a prosecutable case. In recent weeks, Comey has met with groups of former FBI agents as part of his routine visits to field offices around the country. In at least one recent such meeting, according to people familiar with it, former agents were sharply critical of the FBI's handling of the Clinton probe, and particularly the decision not to recommend charges against Clinton. Comey gave the meeting participants a similar answer about the case not being a cliffhanger. Comey said he briefly considered holding the documents until after the Labor Day holiday, knowing that the Friday afternoon release would likely prompt criticism. He also said more document releases are coming. I almost ordered the material held until Tuesday because I knew I would take all kinds of grief for releasing it before a holiday weekend, but my judgment was that we had promised transparency and that it would be game playing to withhold it from the public just to avoid folks saying stuff about us. We don't play games, so we released it Friday. We are continuing to process more material. We'll release batches of documents as they are ready, no matter what the day of the week. He concluded the memo by writing, those suggesting that we are political, a part of some fix, either don't know us or they are full of baloney, and maybe some of both. On yesterday, Republican House Speaker Paul Ryan criticized the FBI's handling of the matter, accusing the Bureau of playing politics with the release. It's like the most buried time you could ever put out a story. I'm surprised. I can't believe that they would do what is such a patently political move. It makes them look like political operators versus law enforcement officers. Wow. It's hard to make hard decisions. That's why they're hard decisions. You get into a situation where you're trying to make a decision over something that is arcanely difficult, and will offer charges against you at some level. But you have to do what you have to do. You have to make the decision that your conscience guides you to. I don't get the feeling that James Comey has any problems with this decision. I and a lot of FBI agents, I'm not an FBI agent, but I and a lot of FBI agents disagree with Director Comey. That the director apparently was trying to avoid looking political, and in that avoidance, looks political, is the ironic difficulty of dealing with miscreant politicians. There are very few things more ulterior and sneaky than a politician who's been caught doing something wrong. And really good politicians will scorch the earth with you standing, especially the part of the earth that you're standing on, in an effort to get themselves out of trouble, regardless of the actual truth of the affair. And that is what confronted Director Comey. I have seen the materials. The materials in the public domain. I haven't seen anything classified, and I wouldn't be talking about it if I did. But in point of fact, I don't need to see classified materials to realize that regardless of what James Comey wants to say or how he wants to spin it, and he knows this is true, what he's done is he has firmly thrown this into what looks like a political save of a badly malfunctioning Democrat politician. Now, it was skillful. He gave we the people all the information we need to be able to know without any doubt that Hillary Clinton is not truthful, she is not trustworthy, and that she broke the law. What we've all learned apparently is that even if you do break the law, it's not always something that will result in a trial, a verdict, and a subsequent sentence if it's a guilty verdict. What we've discovered is that sometimes you get away with doing things that you shouldn't do. And that's where we find Hillary Clinton today. There are casualties. Regardless of what James Comey was trying to do, the agency looks, the Bureau looks political. And that, unfortunately, is because of the decisions he's made. I know how difficult it is to make difficult decisions. I respect the fact that James Comey did the best he could. I'm sure he did. But I disagree. And I find James Comey's reputation damaged. And I find his explanations wanting. And I hate like hell that I have to say it. This is the Wells Report.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle, host of Tuttle Talk every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. We're in a real estate market where there's a lot of difficulty, but in difficulty, there's a lot of opportunity as well. Buying, selling, avoiding foreclosure, modifying your credit, all these things are so important to your livelihood. This show is dedicated to cutting through some of the big headlines that you see out there and teaching you how to win in any marketplace. Thank you for tuning in to Tuttle Talk every Sunday, 4 p.m. on 660 AM The Answer. I look forward to speaking with you.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers. If you owe the IRS or state-backed taxes and cannot afford to pay them back, there's good news. Due to the financial hardship many are facing in today's economy, the IRS has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative. Qualifying for this program will resolve your tax problem, end all collections, and possibly reduce your back taxes by up to 90%. If you are facing wage garnishments, liens, bank levies, audits, or payroll taxes, it's not too late. Your circumstances may qualify you for this special program, protecting your savings and your assets. If you owe the IRS or state-backed taxes and cannot afford to pay them back, there's no need to worry anymore. Call the hotline at Victory Tax Solutions to see if you qualify and potentially save thousands. For this free information, call 800-780-3232. 800-780-3232. 800-780-3232. That's 800-780-3232.
Never give up and never accept failure. I'm Billy Joe Dupree, and that belief helped me become a Dallas Cowboy and play in 3 Super Bowls from 1973 to 1983. Never giving up sometimes means knowing when to get help. If you suffer from ED, whether occasionally or permanently, and have tried Viagra or Cialis without success, don't give up. Life Restore MD has sexual health specialists that can restore your function and sexual relationship, often with just one office visit. All medications are safe, even for those with diabetes. Life Restore MD offers personalized concierge medicine and is covered by most insurance companies. ED is more common than heart condition and hypertension and easily treated. Be your best. Call Life Restore MD because the game isn't over until it's over.
Call Life Restore MD at 800-565-9339. That's 800-565-9339 or liferestoremd.com. If you're a business owner, I want you to imagine standing on home plate in front of a sold-out crowd of 50,000 raving fans at a professional baseball game. They give you the microphone and you have 60 seconds to tell the crowd why they should do business with you. Out of 50,000 people, do you think you might get some new customers? Sure you would. Now imagine you could do that in front of 4 sold-out baseball games. That's 200,000 people. Did you know that's how many people listen to 660 AM The Answer every week? And you have the opportunity to stand in front of the 660 AM The Answer microphone and get 60 seconds to tell our raving fans all about your business. Do you think you'd get new customers if you did that? You bet. The businesses you hear on 660 AM The Answer are knocking it out of the park with new customers. If you're open to seeing how much it costs to advertise your business on 660 AM The Answer, send an email request to advertise@ksky.com. That's advertise@ksky.com. Let's play ball.
Here's good news for anyone who's suffering with sleep apnea. Now you can enjoy a good night's sleep anywhere you travel without dragging your big, bulky home CPAP device with you. Because now there's Transcend, the world's very first mini CPAP. It's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. The Transcend Mini CPAP is so small and so light, you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. And here's even better news. If you call in the next 10 minutes, you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights. So call minicpap.com now. 1-800-700-0153. Transcend is our smallest and most advanced portable design ever. You can even add a battery pack that's as tiny as a deck of cards. So enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. Call minicpap.com in the next 10 minutes to guarantee your 10-night in-home trial. 1-800-700-0153. That's 1-800-700-0153.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis for my friends at Zero Res. The turn to cooler weather means more activity, a lot going on, maybe more rain, more mud, more need to clean the carpet. So there's more reason than ever to call Zero Res for the $33 per room Mark Davis Show special. 214-37-CLEAN, 214-37-CLEAN, pre-treated, cleaned, and sanitized. Then let them clean other stuff. Hardwood floors, fantastic shine. Drapes, upholstery, they do it all. When they're done, $50 gift certificate to Estilo Gaucho Brazilian Steakhouse. 214-37-CLEAN for Zero Res. 214-37-CLEAN.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM. The Answer. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Let me get to Edward in Dallas. Edward, thanks for joining us. Hi.
Hi. You've read George Orwell's Animal Farm, have you not?
I have.
Okay. Do you remember when Squealer and Napoleon and the pigs put up on the side of the barn and said, all animals are equal?
Yes.
As part of their things?
Yes.
And later on in the book, you find out they put it appeared right below that. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others.
Exactly. Of course. Yes. That's a famous quote.
I felt that way. I felt that way when Mr. Toomey, because I watched him lay out the case that very day, and I said, he has to prosecute. He has to recommend prosecution, and he doesn't. I was at work in my restaurant, and I literally yelled out loud and said, we have lost our country. We have literally lost our country. If the FBI will not do it.
Well, I don't know that we've lost our country. And I wouldn't say that it was that important. What I would say is that we have taken a very dramatic step towards a dual legal system, one for the power elite and one for the rest of us.
Communism.
Well, it's so much.
It's bloody communism.
You know what, Edward, you need to call me when I don't have like 20 seconds left in the show. So call me tomorrow, okay? The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Stiper. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name's Jon-David Wells. God bless you, and thanks very much for you joining us. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the Wells Report.
Having financial independence and wealth empowerment is the American dream. Host Dave and Loretta Renz will help you learn what the wealthy already know, how to get strong returns and never lose your principal. That's the Heroes Talk Radio way. You'll also learn about the secrets to planning a tax-free retirement income. So tune in to Heroes Talk Radio every Sunday at 5 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
You have new wood floors and they look gorgeous. That's the good news. The not so good news, they'll eventually have to be cleaned. More good news, there are plenty of wood floor care products to choose from. Bad news, most products will leave a micro layer of residue each time you clean. The really bad news, eventually your wood floor will get dull and hazy almost regardless of which product you clean it with. Now the great news. Dalworth Clean can remove that unsightly buildup from your wood floor, revealing the original finish once again. At Dalworth, we're more than just carpet cleaners. We clean, restore, polish, and protect every type of flooring in your home, including wood, stone, tile, and even concrete. Call 267-8433 today and ask about a complete flooring makeover for your home. Find out why for over 39 years we've been saying,
because the next best thing to do is Dalworth Clean.
Message and data rates may apply.
When did American men get so soft? Today's average red-blooded American man has less testosterone than his father, and his father has less testosterone than his father. Before we turn into a country of powder puffs, Force Factor is launching the Man Up America event. We want to send every man in America a complimentary bottle of the breakout supplement taking GNC by storm. Test X 180 Ignite, loaded with free testosterone-boosting manliness. Get your complimentary bottle by texting MAN to 321-321. Test X 180 Ignite raises levels of free testosterone in your body to help build lean muscle during workouts. Plus, it helps incinerate fat, fuel explosive sexual desire, and improve performance. Now you can continue to feel like the real men that made this country great. Do yourself a favor. Do America a favor. Text MAN to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle. That's a complimentary bottle by texting MAN to 321-321.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. In the first joint candidate event in the 2016 general election, the NBC News Commander-in-Chief Forum, Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton again denying sending classified information over her personal email server, saying such material has specific notations on its header.
None of the emails sent or received by me had such a header.
GOP rival Donald Trump promoting a stronger relationship with Russia to fight ISIS and praising President Vladimir Putin.
The man has very strong control over a country. Now, it's a very different system, and I don't happen to like the system. But certainly in that system, he's been a leader far more than our president has been a leader.
The candidates appeared at separate times during Wednesday night's forum. Russia says Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and Secretary of State John Kerry will fly to Geneva Thursday, where they'll discuss a possible Syria deal following months of negotiations. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM The Answer. Listen on iHeartRadio. Sean Hannity finds Trump's approach refreshing.
Donald Trump is a risk taker. Donald Trump is not afraid to speak his mind. Donald Trump, showed that you can take a position of strength and take a risk and stand on your position. And lo and behold, instead of making an apology tour like Obama, other countries will respect your strength. He's willing to say what needs to be